Okay. Let me show you. Bring up Amplified Bible. Read it for them so that they will see what I'm saying since. Just go back to verse 1. Bring up Amplified.
Then I saw as the Lamb broke open one of the 7 seals, and as if in a voice of thunder, I heard one of the 4 living creatures call out, "Come."
Yes. Verse 3.
When he, the Lamb, broke the 2nd seal, I heard the 2nd living creature call out, "Come."
Yes.
And another, a fiery red horse.
Now I want you to see some of the explanations he's giving you there. What does this horse represent?
Of blood
Bloodshed. Yes.
Came out, and its rider was empowered to take peace from the earth, so that men will slaughter one another.
When he takes peace from the earth, what will happen? Men will slaughter one another, and a great sword, meaning in bracket what? Of war and violent death was what? So when you see uprisings, things that are leading to death and a lot of killings of wars and bloodshed in nature, don't think it is not for you. Whether it's by terrorism or by actually national conflict or tribal conflict or community crashes, it's not for you. Don't go and die in any of those things. There is another side of prophecy where you belong to. It's the end time move of God. Is somebody hearing what I'm saying? Okay, read the next one. Let's see.
Verse 5. When he, the Lamb, broke the opened the 3rd seal, I heard the 3rd living creature call out, "Come." And I looked.
A black horse.
Behold, a black horse.
In bracket of what?
Of famine.
Jesus said after deception there will be war. After war, what is the next thing? Famine. Of famine. Yes, go ahead.
And the rider had in his hand a pair of scales, a balance.
Yes.
And I heard something like a voice in the midst of the 4 living creatures saying, "A quart of wheat for a denarius, a day's wages."
So somebody's whole day wages is just used to eat one meal. That's how economy will collapse. Go ahead, yes.
And 3 quarters of barley for a denarius, and do not damage the oil and the wine.
Then verse 7.
When he, the Lamb, broke open the 4th seal, I heard the voice of the 4th living creature call out, "Come." So I looked, and behold, an ashen...
I want you to watch. This 4th seal is the pale horse that had death riding behind him. Now watch. The Bible will explain to you what that horse means. Yes?
Behold, an ashen, pale, greenish gray horse, like a corpse, representing death and pestilence.
Do you see it? It representing what? Death and pestilence. What is pestilence? Disease. That's what Jesus said in Matthew 24. Death and pestilence. And yes, go ahead. His rider's name.
And his rider's name was Death, and Hades, the realm of the dead, was following with him. They were given authority and power over a 4th part of the earth, to kill with the sword and with famine and with plagues, pestilence, disease.
You see, the plague is pestilence and what? Disease.
And by the wild beasts of the earth.
The 4th one is even more deadly because he will combine the activities of the first 3 plus his own activity to kill 1/4 of the people on earth. What's the population of human beings now? 8-point-something billion. Let's just take 8 billion. 1/4 of 8 billion is what? 2 billion people will die. 2 billion people will die. In wars, by diseases, by economic hardships, and yet these things are not for you. It's not you. And by the wild beasts of the earth. Not just talking about lions and snakes biting people and mosquitoes and all that. It includes what they're calling accidents, both air, both road, and all of that. That's what it's talking about. Those beasts that human beings created, including these ones that now shoot things out. Okay, Pastor Ben, go back to Matthew 24. Go ahead, yes?
All this at the beginning of sorrows.
Just remember that all these ones are the beginning of sorrows. Now, we are not going to go to escalation. This is second phase. And the second phase, ladies and gentlemen, is not wars, is not rumors of war, it's not orders. The second phase deals with end time persecution and revival. Go ahead, sir.
Then they shall deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and you shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake.
I want you to see what is going on here. Persecution, affliction. Some believers will die. That's what it will some, not everybody. Some will be killed. Then it shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. Yes, go ahead. Verse 10.
And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another.
I want you to see in the second phase, the church, there will be a separation within the church, within the company of believers. Some will fall away because they are seeing persecution. So the Bible calls that event the great falling away. Towards the move of God in this life, there will be a time when we are going to come face to face with intense persecution of the church. It will be coming to believers all over the world and coming to the Jews. And at that time, some Christians that don't know their left from their right, or that have not made up their mind to truly serve God, will fall away. Some will fall away because of deception. So, then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. You see the kind of problems you're going to be having within Christians. That's why it has already started. These days now, when you see social media discussing a church or the pastor, you will see it is a former member of that church or a former pastor of that church. Betrayals have started. Offense has started. And there are antidotes to prevent this. Add verse 11 and 12. Yes, verse 11.
And many false prophets shall arise and shall deceive many.
You see, one of the things that will be contributing to the problem: rise of false ministries, false prophets. Yes, verse 12.
And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold.
I want to give them another translation. Give amplified. This abound, what does it mean? There will be too much sin everywhere. Sin. Just, you'll be hearing of all sorts. So if you are not careful, it will start affecting your love and your zeal and your passion for God. You hear. And some of the things you'll be hearing, sometimes even ministers are involved. Go ahead, read it.
And the love of the great body of people will grow cold because of the multiplied lawlessness and iniquity.
So iniquity will multiply. Lawlessness will multiply. This is the second phase in prophecy. By this time it has escalated. Then there is a third and the final phase. By the time you start seeing the great falling away and start seeing the corruption in religion, and start seeing people betraying one another. So is that even among believers are helping to betray fellow believers. You know that's the great falling away. You know we have escalated. This is called the crisis of the church. But there is a purpose to it. It is not the true sense, the remnant of God that God designed this for. Is so that he can use this to purge away the false converts that we have in the church. Excuse me, do you want a woman that says, I love you, but she's only with you when there's good time? She marries you for your money. She marries you because you just had a contract of 10 billion. She marries you because you just bought Range Rover. She marries you for all the things you're buying for her. Then a time of trial, maybe you are sick, or a time of trial, your business goes through shaking, and then she leaves you and runs away with another man. That's the only reason God allowed this. Actually, there are two reasons. Persecution is the incubating ground for revival. This is when the last day move of God will reach its peak, when the fire of persecution comes, just like the early church. Then the other purpose is that's when separation between tar and wheat will be made. Okay, let me show you. Because everything God does has a purpose. God, why are you going to allow them to persecute your own people? Why? Daniel chapter 11, Daniel from verse 33, you will see the reason. 33, 34, and 35. Okay, start from 32.
And such as do wickedly against the covenant shall he corrupt by flattery.
So you see anti-covenant believers, they're answering Christians, but they're not working in the covenant. The enemy will deceive them. He will corrupt them with flatteries. They will follow the enemy. They will follow deception. The true believers will not. The people who came to serve God, they didn't come here only for what God will give them. They have their heart and their life is sold out to God. Will not be deceived. They will know. Go ahead.
But the people that do know their God shall be strong and do exploits.
Do you see that the real saints will not be deceived? Instead, they will be strong. And that's when we're going to do the greatest exploits. Do the greatest wonders. Go ahead. Yes. Yes.
And they that understand among the people shall instruct many.
Those who have understanding will help to educate other believers. Not just educate fellow believers, but also enlighten the people in the society, in the world. It's because God has given us understanding. That's why we are doing this for you. So that you can join that company that know what is happening and know what you are supposed to be doing. Yes, go ahead.
Yet they shall fall by the sword.
Now, I want you to see the 4 types of persecution that are coming in the last days. Number 1 is sword. The beheading or killing of Christians will return. It's happening in some parts of the world. It will get to Western countries where they are talking about human rights. So number 1, they will fall by. These are the people of God, though, that has understanding. Some will fall by the sword, yes.
And by flame.
Some, they will burn some alive. Yes.
By captivity.
Some will be sent to jail. That's prison. Yes.
And by spoil.
Some of them they will seize their properties or their accounts or their financial, whatever. These are different ways. And it will happen for a number of days. Scripture said many days. Actually, we're giving how long this will last in prophecy. But what is the purpose? The next verse tells us.
Now, when they shall fall, they shall be helping with a little help.
They shall be helped with a little help, yes.
But many shall cleave to them with flatteries.
You see this last part? Many shall cleave to them. When the end time revival is good, there will be a lot of harvest from everywhere. It's already going on. People are joining churches, but not all of them are genuine believers. Some are joining with flatteries. They are fake converts. So how does God remove the chaff? The wheat. Separate the wheat from the tares. How does he do it? Persecution is the answer. Look at it in verse 35.
And some of them of understanding shall fall to try them,
yes.
And to
purge them.
And to make them white. Even to the time of the end. Because it is yet for a time appointed.
So, first purpose of persecution that will come in the last days is to purify the church. To purge the church. To make believers white. To try them. and make them ready even to the time of the end. Persecution is not anti-revival. It's actually part of the catalyst for revival. The quality of Christian life improves to its highest point during fire, during persecution. It's what fire does in refining products, what it does to gold. Fire does not burn gold. It only refines it. It burns impurities so the pure gold comes out. That's what persecution does. And because it will get the true church ready for the coming of the Lord, that's why God permitted it. And then because it will separate the false ones, they will go and join the enemy from the true ones. That's why God permitted it. It will wake up the sleeping saints. That's why God permitted it. Anything God allows in his divine plan has a purpose. One of my great mentors said, that's Derek Prince, he has gone to be with the Lord, one of the greatest Bible teachers of all time. He said, we are not going to get the end time revival at the dimension it will come without persecution. He says it's persecution that will help press us in to the position where the finest wine, the finest rain, the latter rain will fall. People will pray like they have never prayed before. People will fast like they have never fasted before. Because we'll be in the same state as the early church. So it will precipitate something that's even hotter than what they experienced. Okay, Matthew 24. Read 12, then read 13.
And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold.
Make sure this does not happen to you. Yes?
But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved.
So you must be part of this, whose faith cannot be compromised. Doesn't matter what is going on. Like the 3 Hebrew children, they will say the God we serve is able to deliver us. But even if he doesn't, we are not changing. We are not bowing. We are not recounting. We are not denying Christ. Those people are the ones that will possess their soul in salvation. Okay, verse 14.
And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come.
Did you see what Jesus said here? This completion of the evangelization of nations, the completing of the Great Commission, is what is going to mark the end, not the end of the world, but this is the second question that the disciples asked Jesus. That will be the definite sign, the final sign, then Jesus will return. So in other words, while all the shakings are going on, revival will be going on, harvest of souls will be going on, God will be reaching the nations. And that is one of the questions I had many years ago. Lord, how can we be able to reach the nations when all these troubles are going on? You will get the answer in a few minutes now. All these end time signs and shakings is going to make the nations ready for the gospel. Our job now is to go in and be harvested. It is when this is completed, then Jesus will return. The ones we have discussed, how many of you got it? Let me see your hand. Okay. Okay, now we will read the same prophecy, Lambert's prophecy, that the one I read for you on Sunday, last Sunday. And I will see if the understanding will be clearer now. Can you project it on the wall, on the screen? Yeah. This prophecy was given at Mount Carmel in 1986 by Lance Lambert, who was a Jew. The father was a Jew, you know. And 153 prophets came from around the world, and they were praying and asking God, what is the plan you have for the nations? What's the plan? What is ahead? And what's the plan you have for the church? And that's where all these things came from. Pastor Ben, read.
It will not be long before there will come upon the world a time of unparalleled upheaval and turmoil.
That's what you're calling end time signs. That's what we just read in Matthew 24. A time of shakings, turmoil, and unparalleled upheaval. That's time of trouble. Bible calls it perilous time. Actually, it's also a time of tribulation. Yes, go ahead.
Do not fear, for it is I, the Lord.
So I will advise you, when you get home, download this prophecy, have a copy of it, and always keep it near your Bible. Because this is the summary of Matthew 24 and what is written in the book of Revelation that this man has been, and this is a Jew, has been able to put together in a step-by-step version. So remember, many times you will see that word, do not fear. Always underline it. Do not fear. Yes, go ahead.
Do not fear, for it is I, the Lord, who am shaking all things. I began this shaking.
So who is doing the shaking? The Lord. It's God. And that is exactly what is written in prophecy. Okay, show it to them. Haggai 2 verse 6 to 8. Haggai 2 verse 6. So in New Testament, they are called end time prophecy and signs of the coming of Christ. Haggai the prophet calls the shakings of the nations. Shakings. Read from verse 6.
For thus said the Lord of hosts, yet once it is a little while, and I will shake the heavens.
Just watch the things that will be shaking. The first shaking is what?
The heavens. And
so anytime you're reading prophecy, you hear about signs, blood moon, and the sun shall not give his light, and there will be stars from heaven that will fall, and all of that's the shaking of the heavens. They are called signs in the heavens. Yes.
And the earth and the sea and
so
the dry
when
land.
You hear about things happening on earth, that's the shaking of the earth, like drought, like famine, anything that had to do with natural disaster, earthquake. Those ones are the shaking of the earth. Then the shaking of the sea, you hear about tsunamis, floods, and all of that. The shaking of dry land. Go ahead.
Verse 7. And I will shake all nations.
The shaking of the nations will come in form of wars, and we're going to read them here. You will see all the details. In wars, conflicts, economic collapses, and different issues. Riots, rebellions, military coups, political crisis. God is one doing it. And why is he doing it is the question. Yes, go ahead. And I will shake what? All nations.
And the desire of all nations shall come.
And the result of this is that the desire of all nations shall come. Everything he's saying from that statement to verse 8, you will see what it is. He's talking about two elements. the desire of all nations shall come. Read, you will see what it is.
And I will fill this house with glory, says the Lord of hosts.
Yes.
Verse 8. The silver is mine and the gold is mine.
So I want you to notice the two things. The shakings will bring revival, the outpouring of the move of God. But the shakings also will bring about the transfer of wealth to the church. When we get into strategies, I will show you exactly how it will happen. Let me give a small clue. You heard now that there will be problems with famines, and there will be problems with food security. There will be problems with the economy. What is the church supposed to do? We're supposed to make agriculture one of our major strategies. Make food production. What did Joseph do when they heard that famine was coming? He got the intelligence that famine was coming for 7 years. What did he do as a strategy?
Serving of food.
Agriculture crusades. They built the city of Goshen. So at that time, Egypt became the most powerful empire on earth, and the economy of Egypt overtook the economy of the whole world. That's what will happen to the economy of the church. Everything that is happening is we're going to turn into strategy. Not just to sit down and say prophecy is coming. There will be food problem or there will be economic problem. And then you will go hungry. Then what is the advantage of having the intelligence? You hear about drought, that there will be drought. There will be some challenges with the economy. That means drought happens when rain does not fall. That means you have to look for alternative source of water, which is underground water. Once you build your house, dig a borehole, put water purification. Once you build a farm, dig a borehole, put water purification. And if rain does not fall, use mechanized agriculture, because today now there are ways to do agriculture, even on pipes, even on your roof, even on. Use irrigation. And it means that the church also has to come up with new method for water conservation. Because rain falls for a short time in the year. 3 weeks in the year. But in that 3 weeks, they've dug wells everywhere and did something to the whatever so that the water will not leak out. And so they get all the wells flooded with water, including flood. Though they gather all the floods that are moving on the ground, channel them to fill wells, because they need them for their animals, for their farm, for the crops. And it's from those places, when the rain stops, they start pumping and doing irrigation, and they are producing agricultural produce they are exporting. God cannot warn you about something and then you end up being a victim again. But he's saying that during that time, the desire of the nations will come to the house of God. You know what the desire is? Silver and gold. Read it again. 7 and 8.
Verse 7.
Have you seen all the nations desiring Jesus? Or desiring? It's money that they are chasing. Yes?
And I will shake the nations, and the desire of all nations shall come. And I will fill this house with glory, says the Lord of hosts. The silver is mine, and the gold is mine. So there is going to be wealth transfer, because the people of God, by using divine intelligence, are positioned like Joseph as the answer. This is what Isaiah said. He said, in the last day, the mountain of the Lord's house shall be exalted on top of the mountains, and all nations will flow into it. Because we are the ones with the answer. The answer to this economic problem is going to come from us. Stop complaining about what is going on in the economy. Start implementing the strategies that will put you on top and enable you to be a Joseph, to start saving lives. It's during these times of shaking that we are going to rise to the peak. Hey. And I will fill this house with glory, for the silver is mine, the gold is mine. The enemy has had it for too long. The shaking is going to cause wealth transfer. But he's not just shouting wealth transfer is coming and doing nothing, and then the wealth will come. It will not come. Go and see what Joseph did, and the wealth of nations started coming to them. These pestilences and all these new diseases are going to be coming out. Look at what cancer is doing. The answer is going to come from the church. The best medical systems, the best medical outfit, the best pharmaceutical, then alternative medicine solutions. Not only to prevent cancer, but to cure it. It's going to be coming from the church. So Christian pharmacists, Christian doctors are going to upscale their craft. And then what will happen to the wealth of the nation? Where will they take their money? They will take it to where the solution is. Because people don't want to die. And then I will fill my house with glory, said the Lord. And according to him, the glory of the latter house. So it's not just the outpouring of the Spirit. There will be tangible substance that thing is producing. Revival precipitates societal transformation. Revival precipitates development, economic and social development. Revival changes community. After we shouted and flowed in the Spirit, there will be tangible things that thing has produced. Because we're going to be a Joseph company. Okay, read Lambert's prophecy.
Read, yes.
I began this shaking with the First World War.
So you see, the First World War was part of it. We told you, First World War was part of it, yes?
And I greatly increased it through the Second World War. Since 1973, I have given it an even greater impetus. And in the last stage, I plan to complete it with the shaking of the universe.
You see, that one is what is called the shaking of the heavens. Signs in the stars, the moon. I didn't complete the reading of Matthew 24. You will have seen it, Jesus talking about it. But remember that when we open the sixth seal in the book of Revelation, chapter 6, that there were shakings in the heaven. The moon turned to blood and all of that. The stars fell to the ground and all the other things. So go ahead.
I plan to complete it with the shaking of the universe itself, with signs in the sun and moon and stars. But before that point is reached, I will judge the nations.
Now we are in the shaking of the nation. That's why it's called the judgment of the nations. Yes, watch.
And the time is near.
As at 1986, he was telling us the time is near. Now it's happening. Happening everywhere. Yes. Look at how God will shake the nations. Yes.
It will not only be by
war. Gentlemen, let me pick out the ways he will shake the nations. Number one, it will not only be by war. War is number one. And civil war. So some will be communal conflicts and within a country. Number two, by anarchy. Number three, by terrorism. Shaking of nations is what we are discussing. As at this time, you don't even have these terror things we are talking about everywhere. Anyway, next one, by monetary collapses. How many have we had? Banks collapsing and all kinds of financial crises everywhere. It's part of the shaking of nations. And I will judge the nations, but also by natural disasters. Are you seeing it? By earthquakes, by shortages and famines. Are you seeing it? By old and new plague diseases. Yes, next line.
I will also judge them by giving them over to their own ways. The lawlessness, to loveless, selflessness.
Okay. I will judge them by giving them to their own ways. That's what is called the reprobate mind. So I'll give them to their own ways, to lawlessness, to loveless a type of selfishness that we have not seen on the earth before, to delusion, deceptions, to believing a lie, to false religion, and to an apostate church. Now, apostate church, that to become apostasy is turning away completely from Christ and his teachings. To deception, to believing a lie. And that has led to the death and to even a Christianity without me. Do not fear when these things begin to happen. For I disclose these things to you before they begin, before they commence, in order that you might be prepared. Now, we are going to look at the purpose of prophecy. The first purpose here is so that you might be prepared. Why am I giving you this information ahead of time? Number one, so that you might be prepared. Number two, so that in the day of trouble and of evil, you may stand firm and overcome. So that's the problems escalate the last days. You will not be shaking. Oh God, what is happening? I'm confused. No, you won't be in that shape. You have knowledge ahead of time. You have intelligence. So that you will be strong and overcome. Yes, the next line. For I purpose that you may become the means of encouraging and strengthening many who love me but are weak. So God is also saying there are weak believers. So those of you who are having this intelligence will be the instrument of strengthening and encouraging the believers that are weak. When persecution starts or when shaking starts, let's assume is one event is happening. Many of them get frightened. They get frightened and they become weak. They don't know what to do with their life. You that know can now give them light. I read it in the book of Daniel. It said, they that have understanding will instruct many. Many. So the third purpose of prophecy, so you can use intelligence to strengthen the weak believers. Then the next one, I desire that through you, many may become strong in me. So God will use you to strengthen and make many believers strong. Another purpose of prophecy, I also desire that through you, multitudes of others might find salvation through you. So the other purpose is that you will become the instrument for reaching others, bringing many to salvation. When things are happening, you won't be confused. You will be leading many souls to Christ. So you see, one of the purposes of all these shakings is God wants to win a massive harvest of souls. Are you guys following? I want to be sure. Help me talk to your friend. Ask him, are you still here? Or are you asleep? Or are you awake? I've not caught anybody sleeping, but I want to be sure. Yes, go ahead.
In that day, I will avenge the blood of all the martyrs and of the innocent ones whom they have slaughtered.
You see why God is judging here. One, on the other end, there was a lot of martyrs, a lot of killing of believers. On this one, a lot of killing of across different nations. Killing of Jews, killing of beheading of all sorts of people. God does not forget blood. Yes, go ahead.
I will surely do this thing, for they have thought that there was no one to judge them. But I have seen their ways, and I have heard the cries of the oppressed and of the persecuted, and I will break their power and make an end of them.
Yes, go ahead.
Be therefore prepared for when all this comes to pass.
Now, here we are going to pick out 8 to 10 strategies. That's how the prophecy ends. What the church should be doing. At least 8 to 10 strategies are given here. And that's the ending of this prophecy. Be therefore prepared for when all these things begin to come to pass, and it's happening in our time. Yes, what will happen?
You will be given the great opportunity to preach the gospel freely to all nations.
So the door is what is going to be happening between now and 2030. So God is going to give the church the opportunity to gather the harvest of the nations. Because after this one, the door will close and it will be closed. But for now, we need to take these 5 years, 2025 to 2030, like a check, open check given by God. There are some more days after, but some of those days will be turbulent times, and we're going to be laboring even in turbulent times. But this one, he said, you'll be given opportunity to preach freely to all nations. Doors are going to open. This is the era now. So the first strategy is that God is giving us an open door for end time mission, end time revival, and to drive a mass harvest of souls before the door closes. And you should know why. God cares about people. Yes, go ahead, sir.
In the midst of all the turmoil and shaking, and at the heart of everything is my church. In the heavenlies, she is joined to me.
So I want you to notice, God's end time strategy is his church.